Hey everyone! Today I'm going to teach you how to layer human outfits. Unfortunately, I don't know why my mic wasn't working in this video, which is actually kind of annoying because I figured out it wasn't working in a lot of my videos. I just decided to use a face that I had already made, and I actually have a tutorial for this face up on my page if you want to use it. It's actually been one of my favorite faces. It's kind of been like a go-to. I decided to show non-human layering in my last video because most non-human outfits kind of look similar. They have similar items and styles. There's only like two you can do. You can do kind of a creepy or like darkish, not cutesy look, or you can do a light cutesy look with like pretty items. However, when it comes to human outfits, there's so many options, which is why I didn't show how to layer as a human, because there's just so many options and it all is up to your preference. Me personally, I kind of go with like alternative or grunge for most of my human outfits. So that's kind of what I went for in this video. This is a cute hair combo that I've been wanting to use. Hair combos are pretty important when it comes to human outfits. You should probably be using at least 2 hairs. Once again, this is all up to preference, so most likely you're probably going to just have to look up like hair combos from Pinterest or on TikTok. There's a whole bunch of different hair combos that people have posted. Me personally, I'm not going to show you every single hair combo in the game, but one day I might make a hair combo post because I've been kind of wanting to and it might be helpful. I was showing the jeans over here because I was just stating that I wasn't going to be using jeans in this video for the sole purpose that jeans kind of cover up a lot of detail that can be added. Obviously, I'm wearing fishnets in this clip, so it would cover that up. Don't get me wrong, I use jeans a lot, especially when I'm doing regular servers, just because you don't have as much time to decorate the legs and make it look decent. I just find that it's quite limiting with the size of the jeans to be able to layer, but there are lots of different layering options for jeans, and in my previous videos you can tell that I've been able to layer with jeans. It really is just knowing what layers well with the jeans. I think what I was talking about here was something about how jewelry is one of the most important parts of a human outfit. Never ever forget jewelry, because if you're having extra slots and you don't know what else to add because you don't need to add any more clothes, add jewelry. Jewelry just adds a lot of detail. It really shows that you pay attention to the small details. Obviously in this video I didn't really have like a picture in mind for how I wanted the outfit to turn out, so I was kind of just winging it. There wasn't any specific way or direction I was trying to take this outfit. I was just going with the flow, and I don't remember what I was saying, unfortunately. I was probably yapping as I am now, so I can't really tell you the thought process behind why I chose the items that I did. I think I just wanted to use some of them, honestly. By the way, this is one of my favorite boots combos. It's non-VIP, these 2 boots with the belts. I think it looks really cute. Honestly, I use them in like most of my human outfits, especially when I'm playing in regular servers, just because it looks a lot better than one boot. Obviously, once again, it's all up to preference and it's all up to the style that you're going for. So if you're interested in looking up different shoe combos from different creators, either on Pinterest or TikTok, that's what you're gonna have to do, because I'm not gonna show every single boot combo in the game. This is supposed to be more of a tips on how to layer and not more so giving you combos, because it might be hard sometimes to use combinations with each other that are cohesive. So I like to test out a lot of different combinations of items whenever I'm making an outfit, especially in free play, because I have the time to do so. I spend most of the time looking for combinations that fit the aesthetic that I'm going for, rather than using combinations that I already know, because it's always nice to try to spice things up a little bit from your usual combinations. Also, I think in the video I wanted to mention that this belt has a toggle for chains, in case anyone didn't know, because I didn't know for the longest time and I was really excited when I found out about it. This shirt is one of my favorites in the game when it comes to human outfits, specifically ones like this where I'm going for more of a revealing, or for lack of better term, baddie look. It has a lot of different colorable parts, so even by itself it's a really good layering item. I feel like a lot of the human layering comes down to the patterns or colors you choose to use, because there is a lot of items in the game that work really well for human fits, and it's how you choose to color them and mix them together that really matters. And I think the coloring is more important, which is why I'll probably be giving better tips during the coloring part. Better as in, I don't know what to say during this part. With this specific look, I wanted to go for like a lot of belts. I just find that really cool looking when I do my human outfits. Here I just wanted to mention that I wish they had an option to turn the corset off for the Madoka set, because the lace is so pretty, and I feel like for a lot of outfits you don't need the corset, but you do want the lace because it kind of looks like tattoos, and I felt like tattoos would have really tied into this look. So this may be kind of random, but I wanted to mention why I added those socks on the leg area, because it kind of just looks weird when I added it first. So even though I had fishnets in that area, I still felt like the area wasn't as detailed as I wanted to be. As I said in my last video, layering is a lot about balance, and obviously I felt like there was a lot of commotion going on in the top area, in the arms area, as well as the shoe area, and then this thigh area was kind of just like empty in a way. I felt like I needed to balance that out, so I added these socks. So once again, I am telling you guys how important balance is in your outfits, not just with non-human outfits, but with human outfits as well. And here's another example of me trying to balance out the outfit. As you can see, these snake arm decorations have a toggle to have them on the upper part of the arm. They also have a toggle for both, which I think I toggled it to that later, but whatever. It was a good balance for the top of the arm because I felt like the top of the arm was kind of empty, although it also would have looked good without it. I know I say balance is really important, but sometimes even if you have a super detailed outfit, there can be parts of the outfit that could be less detailed or even bare, and it wouldn't throw off any type of balance. This is another reminder for you to use jewelry, obviously with the arm things, but then as you can see, I put on the necklace. With your human outfits, it's okay to add a bag. Most of the time you'll have enough space to add the bag, and if you're not like me, you don't do that much of crazy layering, so you have enough space for a bag, and I think a bag just adds like a nice little cute detail. I ended up deleting the bag so I could have more space for layering, so it was useless. Now it was time to start coloring. So I go through and I pick all of the patterns that I want during this time. As you can see, I went for a kind of brown palette. I didn't want to do anything too color theory. I just went with brown. Brown is like one of my favorite colors in real life for clothing, so I kind of just portray myself the same way in the game. Now, don't assume that I would wear something like this in real life because I'm not cool enough to do that, unfortunately, but I wish I could. So this was all of the patterns that I decided to use. As you can see, I did have a little bit of red and some green in there, but just only as like accents, so it was like barely noticeable, honestly. And as I said in the last video, this is an example of color theory. Red and green are complementary to each other, if I remember correctly, which is why I was trying to use them. If you wonder how people can like mix colors that don't seem like they would go together, like brown and teal, it's color theory. I don't really know how it works. I just know the colors that look good together when it comes to color theory. So that's why I'm telling you guys about it, because it can take your outfits to a different level. All you have to do is just look up color theory on Google, and most of them will just show you a chart. You don't have to like go to college and learn it, which is how a lot of people know it. I didn't know it from that, even though I'm an artist. I've never really learned color theory, but I can understand it. It's not that hard to understand. So here's one of the most important tips when it comes to layering a human outfit. Try to incorporate your skin tone when you're recoloring the outfit. As you can see, this tan like rose pattern kind of looks like a black lace over her skin because I use pale colors. Therefore, this tan rose pattern fits really well to my skin tone. Almost every single outfit I am able to use this pattern because I always use the pale skin tones that match with it. While I don't recommend using the like default skin tones that are in the tanning booth when you go into it, you can use them just because they do have the tattoos as well as the fishnet texture patterns. I really wish they would make those a PNG because it would take up a lot less space and you could use it over any skin tone. It would be really nice, is all I'm trying to say. But anyway, if you do want to go with something pale like me, then you can use this rose pattern to either give yourself tattoos or make it like how I did with a lacy pattern. Obviously, I like to save a lot of the colors I use because it's better than just trying to guess what color you used before. It is just a small detail that some people might notice, and it might throw some people off when you use different colors that are very slightly similar to each other but not exactly the same. Not only other people, but it might throw you off as well. So obviously a lot of patterns placed differently on the different items, so sometimes it might be really small, sometimes it might be really large, and sometimes it might show a specific part of the pattern in a place that makes it look like something else, which is interesting. I'm saying that here because this Halloween corset, the green one that's non-VIP, for some reason during the winter update they changed the way that the patterns lay on it, and it's really massive, so it looks kind of weird. But that means that you can use different patterns on it and it'll only show a specific small part of the pattern, so you might be able to get a cool effect on it. As you can see, once again, I added my skin tone into the middle of that corset. So obviously you may be wondering why we should add our skin tone into the outfit and like why it makes it look better or whatever. It's mostly because everyone knows that there's no item in Dress to Impress that is shaped like that, so you kind of create your own pieces of clothing by doing this, and that's the whole point of layering, is you're trying to create a new piece of clothing that that has not been added into Dress to Impress to enhance your outfit. Once again, another example of how the patterns layer onto different parts of whatever item you're coloring. You can see on the corset here, the trim, I put the gray flower pattern, and it makes the part that's laying against my stomach gray, but the part that kind of flips out is gold, and I think that's a really cool effect. So you kind of just have to experiment with different patterns and how they lay on the clothing, because it can give you this really nice effect. When it comes to choosing which pattern you should use for which part of the clothing that you're coloring, obviously if you're in a regular server you probably don't have time to switch it out as much as I do, but when you're in a free play server you do have that time. So I suggest that you use that time to figure out what looks the best, and that's why I would say to save a pattern. So A, you don't have to be scrolling back up and down a million times to try and get a pattern right, and B, because it sticks you to a pattern palette, so you know that you can use all of these patterns and you can just quickly switch between all of them until you find one that looks nice. At the end of the day, if you think, oh wait, this pattern that I didn't save might be good, you can always just scroll down and use that one. So it doesn't really matter what you choose to do. As you can see, I finally recolored the stockings here, so you can just see how much detail it adds just having those stockings colored, because before it would have looked pretty empty because the shoes have such a stark edge at the top of them, and then all of the detail just stops. There's just the fishnets there. So layering these on top of those adds a lot of detail and makes it look a little more cohesive. At this point, I had finally finished recoloring all of the items that I had used for this outfit, and I like to call this the base outfit. I think I've said that before. I still had 2 item slots left, so you don't have to fill up those if you don't want to, but for some reason I was unhappy with the way this looked. I felt like the head was a little empty and the neck was a little empty, so I was gonna go fix that. This stage of the process is a lot easier because you can tell when something doesn't fit the aesthetic almost immediately and you can just delete it. I felt like this outfit was kind of given like a dystopian feel for it, so I wanted to add this hat combo that I use a lot. It's the I don't remember what this thing is called. It's the Russian hat. The ushanka, that's what it's called. I like to use this ushanka with the goggles that are in the male section because I just feel like it's literally the perfect dystopian, or like, I don't know, just anything in that genre. It's giving like steampunk. It's giving steampunk pilot. All right, and that's the finished look. I hope some of the tips in this video could help you or were understandable. I try my best to make it simple because my own brain doesn't really process things well, so I try to put it in a way that other people can process it who might be as slow as me. As always, let me know what other types of videos you would like to see me do, and I'll see you guys later.